to celebrate a defeat against Alabama. You know what? This makes me so proud as an Alabama fan, even in the day of an age of NIL. You know, when somebody beats Texas, they don't go rushing the field now, do they?
No.
When somebody beats somebody else, they don't go rushing the field now, do they?
Nope.
When you beat Alabama, you go rush the field, you tear the goalpost down, you run them and you throw them into the river. That tells me something. That tells me that this team is absolutely, it was built by Bear Bryant and Gene Stallings. And I'm 57, brother. So you're talking about all those Shula years. Man, I'm a little bit older than you, Mick, the block, and I've seen I saw the absolute decline of Alabama football. And then I watched his ascension. And then when DeBoer came in, you know, I was the first one to say after the FSU game, fire his butt and go get John Gruden.
Right.
And, you know, I'm going to eat my words right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat my words right now. Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. He's a good coach. Brian Grubb was the X factor. Now, they didn't have it today. The play calling, the offense had no synchronicity whatsoever. But you know what? The defense won this game for us.
That's right.
And I am so proud of that defense. I'm so proud of the defense on what they did. And this team did pull it together. Even the offense in the end, they pulled it. They did what they had to do. And they delivered this game on a very high-pressure situation because, you know, we're going 5 games in. And South Carolina had that bye. Nothing but rest. And they had the full gamut of what they had. And we were able to withstand that onslaught that they gave us. And we had just enough to get us. Their defense scored a touchdown on the pick six, and they forced that fumble. And by golly, we came through when we needed to. This is a sweet, sweet victory for us. So on behalf of this victory, I'm smoking a Dunbarton Silva Mesa Maduro. And Mick, congratulations, brother. This was a hard-fought win. I'm going to have to go back and watch the game again because it's like, you know.
You'll enjoy it more now.
I'll enjoy it more now, yeah. I mean, it's like I was texting my dad. He's 84, super huge Alabama fan. And he's like, don't worry, we got this. I'm like, dang. So shout out to Pops, man. He's got the faith of a mustard seed, and I think that we're gonna tack this one up to the Trinity on this one. Hallelujah, man.
Hey. Yeah. Well, hey, thank you for
Nick,
calling,
appreciate
brother.
you. Appreciate you guys, man. Everybody, hey, let's enjoy this one, man. We got a bye week. We can rest up. We can get our breath back, and we can focus on LSU.
That's right.
Go Bama.
Roll Tide, brother. Roll Tide. We'll get to your phone calls in a second. Again, want to tell you that our show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Azaleas, the Oaks, 2 amazing golf courses right there at Dancing Rabbit. Also, the Timeout Sports Lounge. It's at Golden Moon Casino, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham, and a place that you guys, I know you love to visit. So as I catch my breath, let's watch Jake Coker, and then we'll take calls right after he tells you about Pearl River.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Right, let's roll. Let's roll right back to the phone lines again. And look, all of you guys who have come to the next round to follow the show from where it started at Bama Insider, and then to my channel, Bama Tailgate, and then to Cover Crimson, and now here, I appreciate you, man. I really do. And thank you for making us a part of your Saturday. And it really does mean a lot to me to see all you guys. All right, let's go back to the phone lines again. And again, thank you for those of you that have called and held on and been with us today. Who's this and where you calling from?
This is Kendall calling from Mobile.
What's up, Kendall?
How you doing tonight?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good right now. I sweated it out for a while. I knew those Gamecocks were good, though, man. I got nothing but, honestly, a lot of respect for those teams like South Carolina and the SEC, because they will jump up and beat you if you're not careful. So that's what almost happened. But we won.
Yeah, I do as well. It's crazy because South Carolina and Williams-Brice Stadium is notorious for knocking off big teams like 2022 when Hendon Hooker tore his ACL. They knocked A&M's trajectory off last year. I think that was like, 7-1, 8-0, and it was a nighttime game. And I just want to give props to Kalen DeBoer. This team's real resilient, and this shows how great of a coach he is because, a lot of teams lose early in the season, and it derails their whole season. Florida State last year. And this team kind of resembles the 2015 team, the 2015 team, because you remember they lost to Ole Miss. The dynasty was dead. Nick Saban needed to be gone. And next thing you know, Ty Spencer's kind of this version of Derrick Henry, this team version of Derrick Henry. Even though he had a rough game, they came in clutch.
Yeah, he did, man. He's a tough guy. The defense won this game, but the fact that he is. The fact that the offense, I'm sorry, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say the fact that the offense came through in the end, though, it takes those games. You like Jake Coker, who's also from Mobile, was a quarterback in 2015, was talking about the Tennessee game and how he had done an interview with the TV crew, and they were like, every great season you have one of those, you're going to need a drive, and he was like, he wasn't thinking that, and that's what happened, It's going to make this team that much tougher to beat as they progress, hopefully to the SEC championship, hopefully to the college football playoff, and hopefully to the national championship game when they're in battles like this against Ohio State and Oregon, and if they have to play Ole Miss, and if they have to play Texas A&M, if they play Georgia again, winning these type of games is going to help them get better. It's just to have survived.
I agree. And I think that it hurt Ohio State of Alabama and Ohio State matched up because, yes, they played Texas, which is, I'd say, a middle-of-the-road SEC team this year. And Bama's been resilient, and we just went on a stretch where we played 4 ranked teams and won. Like, we got to give DeBoer his credit, and Womack as well. As much crap as he's received, our defense really hasn't been that bad. It's just they've allowed themselves to get gashed and be out of position at times.
It's the big plays that we're not used to, but you know what? They buckled down, man. I mean, it is a new era of football. And at the end of the day, you got to look at how many points the other team scored and how many of those points were you. Not only did they give up 22 points today, they got put in bad positions because of turnovers. They also scored 7 again. And last week they scored 9, So, I mean, like, when your defense is actually scoring for you, plus, I mean, if you can give them credit for 14 because they forced the fumble that won the game. So half of the points came from the defense.
You're 100% correct. And I'm going to give Kane Womack his flowers too. It's kind of all their first time being in the SEC. I know Kane Womack's dad, used to coach at Ole Miss or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's doing really well. The team's real resilient. And I texted my brother after the game. I said, man, the God must be in Alabama. Man, I just love the tradition of the school and everything it represents and how proud I feel as a fan. Like, and people, as the fans, we truly need to give Greg Byrne his credit because he hired Nate Oates to turn around the basketball school. It seems like he made the right hire after Saban. And everybody was ready to get rid of Greg Byrne after we lost to Florida State. But I don't know. I feel like he does an exceptional job with the athletic department.
Hey, when you win, everybody's happy. And it's like when you win at football at Alabama, they make statues of you, when you win championships. They name buildings after you, right? Malmore, on all those championships, Bear Bryant, Coach Stallings, Nick Saban, Wallace Wade, and Frank Thomas, going way back. I saw someone on here talking about one of the comments that one of their parents went to school when Bart Starr was at Alabama. Bart Starr was my first interview, by the way, guys. I interviewed Bart Starr when I was a student at Alabama, my first interview. He couldn't have been a nicer guy, and he told me that his Alabama team stunk. He said they were terrible, you know? So, I mean, we've had some bad years, but you know what, man? This year could be special if these guys are able to build on this.
I definitely agree. This game, I'll tell you exactly what it reminds me of. In 2015, I believe we had to go on the road and play Tennessee, and how resilient that team was. Derrick Henry and Jake Coker, I'm pretty sure they can tell you about this game. I remember it to a T. Calvin Ridley and Ardarius Stewart was making these crazy catches on the sidelines, and Henry punches it in, and then Josh Dobbs fumbles at the end.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson, man. It was in Tuscaloosa, but yeah. Ryan wants a Daniel Moore print. He wants his Daniel Moore print from that sack fumble, and I think we should give it to him. Daniel ought to sketch him up.
I'm gonna let you go in a second, but another thing, where was Isaiah Horton tonight? Is he in trouble and we don't know about it? Because he wasn't listed on the injury report.
I don't.
He was not on the field at all.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, was he injured and they didn't report it? You know, has he gotten passed up because they don't like something about his game? I don't know the answer to that. You know, I know that we didn't have Latsier Brooks because of an injury, missed him out there. Ryan Williams, you know, was out there. Obviously, Jeremy Bernard was out there. Rico Scott was out there.
And how great is that guy?
Yeah, Bernard's awesome, man. I mean,
yeah,
I want to buy. I mean, we should all send him NIL
in a special way. So,
well, Kendall, we should all send him.
Go ahead.
We should send Bernard NIL money just so he didn't have to. We didn't have to go through the excruciating feeling of Connor Talty trying to kick a field goal to win the damn game. You know, it would have ended up in your house in Mobile.
Yeah, I was wondering the whole time. I was like, come on, let's be aggressive. Because Kalen DeBoer, he does things exceptionally well. He'll never get credit for his time management. He's great at getting the ball 2 minutes, the 2-minute drills or whatever. I didn't like quite how they did it at the end of this game. But they just got real conservative, and I'm glad South Carolina backed off. When Bernard scored, I know there was like 30 seconds left on the clock, but I was like, no, Sellers and them is not scoring, especially with Mike Shula being their OC. I was like, no.
This felt like a Shula game to me, man. I just kept reminding myself, if he wins this one, this will be the first time. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I hate to talk so bad about him, but I lived through this. This was every Shula game.
Yep.
You know, it's like Shula ball to a T. You know, you're going to find a way not to win in the fourth quarter. And then Saban came in, and then it was like, hey, we're going to find a way to win in the fourth quarter. And I was worried last year. And look, we got 4 really big games left in the regular season, and then some more after that. There's a lot of football left to be played, but I really do think that Kalen DeBoer has turned a corner when it comes to just having this team where you want a team to be. I love the effort, and I think it starts there, right? The discipline. They weren't the most disciplined team. They looked tired to me today, but with that said, they still did what they needed to do in a hostile environment to get a win. They're going to have one more game on the road that's going to be more hostile than this. It's going to be meaner and nastier it's going to be meaner and nastier than Athens. And they're going to have to go in there. Auburn's probably going to be firing their coach. There's going to be a bunch of turmoil. The guy's going to be like basically trying to coach for his life. And DeBoer and Alabama is going to have to figure out how to do this again. So we did it down there in the past.
That game definitely scares me.
Yeah, they all do. I mean, really, they all do, except the Eastern Illinois or whatever. I mean, we could beat them with the third string, but the rest of them are tough games.
I definitely agree. Which LSU, I like how our defense matches over our offense. It's just they got a good edge rushers and a good line. And Oklahoma, you know, is Brent Venables. He's been a kryptonite to us. And Auburn, Nick Saban's only won in Jordan Hare, 3 times his whole career?
Yeah. Yep.
But I appreciate your time, Mick. I enjoy talking to you.
Hey, same here, brother. Thanks for calling, man. It's always good to hear from you.
Have a
down in
nice night.
Mobile. Yeah, you too. Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide down there in L.A. near me. All right, let's go back to the phone lines again and keep the calls going. Bama with a 29-22 win. They came from behind late to get the job done. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hey, Mick, it's Demetrius from North Carolina.
Demetrius, I want you to pull the cord out there, man. What a big win for the guys today.
Hey, Roll Tide. It's the normal, like a lot of people being mentioning. We get everybody best. Week in, week out. I don't care who it is. Next week, South Carolina could go lose to a technical college by kick. But hey, it is what it is. I like the grit that was showed today versus the Florida State game versus early in the year. I like the grit, and Ty, he seems to remind me of the Iceman in that movie Top Gun.
Yeah,
He smooths as ice. He just bore you down, and he till you make a mistake. And hey, defense made a mistake, and we made them pay for it.
that's right.
I mean, defense made a big play, and we made them pay for it. I mean, yeah. I mean, each caller keep talking about all the close games in the past, and it's something we're accustomed to. I mean, new coach, new regime, and I see the trajectory going in the right direction. You know, we had the greatest coach of all, and hey, who knows? Coach DeBoer might rise to that level. I mean, considering this is Alabama football.
Yeah.
I've been a fan since '92, and shout out to the defense for finally rising to the occasion. That's Alabama football.
Yeah.
You get a key stop at a key moment in the game, and hey, the teams of the past, you know, that's what separated the men from the boys. Some of the defense, they made a key stop at certain parts of the game that, you know, that showed that's why they Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, from Mount Cody to I mean, you can name them. I mean, it's plays like that. It's always in every championship season. It's always one play that I always remember. The last time we won the championship was the field goal at halftime. A lot of people might underestimate it, but the field goal at halftime against Georgia, we was able to go in, go down instead of 17 to 24. It was 20.
Yep.
I believe that plays like that happen, and hopefully this defensive stop, hey, it triggers something in the defense. Say, hey, we can make some things happen when we take everybody the best shot.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. That's what Mike Tyson said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And South Carolina punched him in the mouth, and we just counterpunched.
Yeah.
Kept on counterpunching until, you know, we're not. Yeah. But shout out to these young men. You know, I say it again. I have a family member that played college football, and all the vitriol things that was said about him. I'm like, he's only 18, 19 years old. Why y'all grown people talking to them like that? Well, he went on. I ain't gonna mention no names, but as much as we talk about these young men, you know, this is grown man things they're going into. You know, take out of the storm, and when things ain't going your way in life, you know, you gotta. I mean, I'm in my 40s. I figured out, hey, you got to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
I mean, reflect back what you do, and you can get what you can get better at. This is what these young men do. And the shout out to the coaching staff for getting them on the right trajectory of their mindset. You know, what do you do when things ain't going right? Your game plan ain't working. You're off a little bit. You know, dropping passes, overthrowing, and hey, everything's come together for that last time where you get everything right. That's Alabama. You know, years past. Oh, we give that one Alabama drive when the game on the line. I mean, one of my favorite offensive linemen of Barrett, he used to say that all the time. You know,
Yeah.
you're always looking for that one last Alabama drive. That statement. We didn't have it last year. We ain't had it in the last several years, but this time, hey, this remind me that the defense and this getting the turnover and scoring on that last. Hey, that remind me. Hey, this is Alabama football. This is what I'm used to seeing since 2009.
Yep.
So I'm gonna let you go and get another call in, and hey, shout out to the whole team. The whole staff, whether you be in the weight room or whether it be assistant coach or hey y'all,
everybody.
The trajectory is up.
Yep.
And I'm these last 2 series. Well, I was happy. This is the happiest I've been since 2020.
Yeah.
So you have a good rest of the day, Mick. I'll be calling back in, next week.
Okay.
LSU.
Yeah.
So roll tide.
Roll tide, Demetrius, man. Good to hear from you from North Carolina. One of our great callers. Seth, you bring up a great point. Cuevas deserves more praise, and he made plays, right? Cuevas, I thought, did a tremendous job today. When Alabama needed somebody to catch the ball, he caught it. He did. And he had the hands today. And I saw another comment on here from you, Duke. And this is money. Every transfer that came with Kalen DeBoer is good. They're all good. As a matter of fact, they're some of our best players. Brailsford, Cuevas. You go down the line and you look at these guys, and it's like, man, they came with them. Bernard, they came with them for a reason, and they're really helping out a ton. So we appreciate those guys so much. And Kalen DeBoer, man, he's just the black hoodie. It's the black hoodie. He's a different guy now. Hey, I want to tell you guys that the show is presented by our friends at Ocean City, Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. Look at that beautiful sunset right there in OC. There's Alabama fans everywhere, and our guy Keats out there. Back to back to back. Coastal Style Hotel of the Year. But you've got the boardwalk. You got great fishing. You've got awesome restaurants. It's beautiful. And the Bar Secrets is kind of one of the best beach bars in the world, kind of their version of the Floor Bama. You will love it there. So think about it on that next vacation. And tell Keith that we sent you up there to OC. All right, let's go back to the phone lines again and talk some more with you guys. And thank all of you guys for hanging out with us here on the next round. Make sure that you like and subscribe and be a part of it. I'll be here after every game. And then Jake Coker and I's podcast, that's all. It's on here as well. We do that twice a week. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Mick, it's Adam calling from New Jersey. How's it going?
Adam, man, you got to be happy about this, man. You've got to be happy about this.
Did we get cut off?
Yeah, can you hear me? I said, Adam, you got to be happy about this.
Yeah, I'm happy. And, what a great game. And I just have a few observations. Number one, Ty Simpson's going to win the Heisman. This guy is a great leader. And on the game time and game-winning drive, he was fantastic. And I also think that this team has the right culture now. DeBoer is a great coach. I think he's made this team his own. And we just seem to have the kind of resilience and the intangibles and the perseverance that we didn't have last year and that were like typical under the Saban era. So I guess I would say my only concern is how do we get the running game going and the offensive line to play better? Because I think we could go to the national championship game, but those are areas where we have to improve. I'm not sure. How do you think we do that?
Good question, man. And at the beginning of the show, I was talking about that. They got to run block better. And I'm going to ask, I do a show each week with Mike Johnson on Monday, played two-time All-American at Alabama. I'm on my channel on Bama Tailgate with Shank, and he was an offensive lineman. I'm going to ask him too, Mike's a little more technical about kind of explaining things. Shank kind of, speaks in a language that we all can understand. Both of those guys are really smart. I don't know. I don't understand why the run blocking is not there. They're not giving the running backs a solid chance to be productive down in and down out. Now, the pass blocking is up and down. sometimes Ty can sit in a lawn chair and look, and then today they number 6 was running by him the whole time. They couldn't stop him. That guy's a superstar, and he just basically outmaneuvered our offensive line. But I say, I would probably give him a C for pass blocking and maybe a D for run blocking. But I'll say the same thing about what we just kind of talked about. They still are finding a way to give Ty enough time to throw the ball. And when he gets rid of it fast, it helps them out a lot. And he's done a great job of that. I don't know if today's game is going to help him win the Heisman, but I do feel like that there is a chance that it's not going to hurt him. And maybe it's like a Heisman moment, for him when you talk about the fact that he found a way to win, even though it wasn't his best game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited about this team because it just seems to have the kind of grit and determination and kind of, I don't know, they have they're just so talented, but they're also so together as a team. And I think that it's going to lead to another national championship. So I am going to predict that we play Ohio State in the national championship and win 27-24.
This is a different Adam.
Great show as always, Mick.
Adam, this is a different guy from last year. You weren't buying into our team last year at all.
No, not last year, but this year I kind of feel like they have the chemistry, and I just feel like DeBoer has finally made it his team, and it's time that we win another one.
Yeah. Well,
great show, Mick. Thanks for
brother.
Taking my call.
Hey, anytime. Always great to hear your voice, brother. See you. Thank you so much.
All
right, that's Adam. He's been a long time part of the show, and man, I appreciate all of you guys for hanging to us. Let's go over the numbers again one more time together, and I'll even throw them up on the screen so we can all look. ESPN.com, where I'm getting these stats from. And then I'm going to look at some of the games from around the league. But let's just talk about it. Bama scored 15 points late. They were down 8 points with, not much time left. And they went down the field. They had a methodical drive. They scored. They got the 2-point conversion. They tie it. And then they get a strip sack of Sellers, who's a great competitor, the quarterback for South Carolina. And then they score a touchdown on a great play call to Jeremy Bernard, and they win the game 29-22. So, they scored the first touchdown of the game after being down 3-0 on a pick six. And then Jones scored that. They got another touchdown in the second quarter. South Carolina got a field goal, missed a field goal. So they go into the half with a 14-6 lead. And then South Carolina with 9 unanswered, and then they got the touchdown, and then all of a sudden it was 22-14 late in the game, and Alabama able to come up with enough to get it done. So we looked at this before, but just running through it again. Team stats: South Carolina had one more first down than Bama, 18-17. Bama was 8-16 third downs. They were 6-17, so that's a win for Bama. Fourth downs, South Carolina was 2-2. Bama was 2-3. The total yards couldn't have been any more even. 333 for South Carolina, 325 for Alabama. Passing yards, Bama slightly better, 251, 222. And then for the Tide, 24 of 43. And for South Carolina, 18 of 33 for their passing in the game. Bama 5.9 yards per catch, and South Carolina 6.7 per catch. One interception thrown by South Carolina. That was the touchdown. And Ty did not throw an interception, although he did get a fumble forced. We'll talk about that coming up, though. Rushing, Bama struggled. They got 72 yards, but just 3.1 yard per rush. That they never really established the ground game, but at the end, they started to find some success running the ball. South Carolina had 111 yards rushing. They were 3 yards per carry. They just had 37 attempts to Bama's 23, so they were pounding the rock. Penalties, South Carolina slightly a win there, 5 of 40, especially when you look at all the holdings that they got away with. And then Bama was 6 of 50, 6 penalties, 52 yards. Bama had the 2 fumbles, obviously the Mbakwe block, off the side of his leg on a kick return, kind of just, not a good play. South Carolina had the strip sack and the interception. So both of the turnovers that South Carolina had were killers. So you look at the box score and you start going over Bama's stats. Ty Simpson, again, 24-43, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Didn't have a very good QBR, but it wasn't terrible, 78.4. Not his best game. Jam I still don't feel like he's back from the concussion totally. 10 carries, 26 yards, although he did have some good runs late that helped us get there. Bernard, 3 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown, biggest play of the game. And Bernard, I'm telling you right now, there may have to be a Bernard Daniel Moore print when it's all said and done. I mean, this guy deserves that recognition. He's becoming one of the great Alabama wide receivers if he's not there already, right? Ty ran it 6 times for 13 yards. I thought that Ty ran the ball today when we needed him to run it. He was tough. Reminded me of my partner, Jake Coker, out there, who is one of the toughest hombres to ever be quarterback at Alabama. John Parker Wilson type guy. I'm going to go out there and lay down, lay my body down to try to get an extra yard. And he was tough like those guys and other quarterbacks too. Loved to see that. And that was pretty big for Alabama. Daniel Hill, 3 carries for 10 yards. No real guy that you felt like you were go-to in the rushing game. Now receiving, Daniel Hill, 4 catches, 76 yards. Ryan Williams had 7 catches in this game for 72 yards. He was the go-to target for Alabama, and I thought he had a pretty good game. It wasn't perfect, but he's really good, and he's still only 18 years old. The guy is still learning out there, but he is such a good player. Jeremy Bernard, I just talked about him before. 5 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. He ran one, and he received one. Another huge game for Bernard, who, again, is the best player on this team, right? Jam Miller, 3 catches, 23 yards. Josh Cuevas had 3 catches for 16 yards and a touchdown. The guy is really clutch, too. If you throw it to him in a big spot, he's going to catch it. Rico Scott had 2 catches for 12 yards. Keon Sabb had a fumble. Ty Simpson, a fumble. And Tim Keenan, the third, had a fumble recovery, which was great for Alabama. Defensive stats, Bray Hubbard had 8 tackles, 2 solos, flying around the field. Nakai Hill-Green is getting better each game. 7 tackles, solos. He says he wants to be like Ray Lewis. He's starting to look like Ray, man. He soaring to the ball, getting there. Justin Jefferson, the same thing. He's getting better each game. 7 tackles, 5 solos. He had a sack and a tackle and a half for a loss in this game, right? Deontay Lawson, 7 tackles, 4 solos, and Dylan and Dijon Lee. Excuse me, guys. Dijon Lee with a tackle and a half for a loss. This guy, I mean, we got Dijon Lee, mustard. We were so fired up about getting him finally to that place where he's someone that we're starting to really see the potential that he's going to have for Bama and hopefully for a long career. So, and we're not in the day and age. Ryan Anderson said on the Tailgate show on Friday that it's plug and play now with the way that you do things, almost like the NFL. And I agree with him on that it is plug and play. And a lot of these young guys, we got to have them. And Dijon Lee was one of those guys that I thought we should definitely mention in this game. Chuck, great comment. You can see the effects of playing 4 straight ranked teams in a row. Missed tackles. Look, they were tired. I mean, I said that, like, watching the game, that was one of my comments was exactly that, was that I felt like this team was really tired. But they figured out a way to fight through it, And I felt like when it comes to just going out there and finding a way that they did that. You know, you don't have the depth that you used to have. This is a grueling schedule. Every team's tough. And you look at the games that Bama played, South Carolina was the toughest test that they had of the 5, but it was also the last one of the 5 as well. So, you know, keep that in mind. And, you know, and again, we're heading into an off week. So, you know, this is let me pull that banner down. This is the last game before we go into the off week. Now, I'm going to look at scores from around the SEC, and we'll talk about some of these games. Auburn was a 33-24 winner at Arkansas. Arkansas had the lead late. Auburn scored 17 unanswered. Hugh Freeze looked like a guy that had just won his case to keep himself out of prison. You know, so Auburn now wins their first conference game. They're 4-4. They've been close, but he's on an extremely hot seat. I don't know that win saves his job, you know, playing against a team that fired their coach a few weeks ago. But, you know, Bama's got to play there at the end of the season. And I know that's going to be a tough game. The featured matchup in the SEC was Vanderbilt versus Missouri. Unfortunately for Missouri, their quarterback with a bad leg injury, and Vandy goes to 7-1, scoring a late touchdown to beat Missouri 17-10. So some bad luck for the Tigers. And Diego Pavia continues to keep things rolling. I watched this one, Oklahoma and Ole Miss. At least I watched part of it. And Lane Kiffin finally with a road win over a ranked team, 34-26. Oklahoma's got a really good defensive front, and Ole Miss was able to withstand that. They bounced back from their loss to Georgia, and just another tough conference game. And then a heartbreaker in Starkville, a big lead for Mississippi State. They blow it, and they lose in overtime to Texas, 45-38. And, you know, they just don't have enough to get through it, you know, to hold on to some of these games. But they had a big lead at home against Tennessee. They lost. They do the same thing. Arch Manning left the game with an injury, and that's something to keep an eye on. And then you got Tennessee at Kentucky right now, 21-7. Tennessee leading that one into the first quarter, and Texas A&M with a 14-9 lead, second quarter at LSU at Death Valley at night, where nobody should want to play. And that's a look around the conference. Now, Bama's off. They'll be back in action at home against LSU in 2 weeks. And, you know, that's a big game for the Tide. So anyway, look, thank you guys for being here. Again, we are brought to you by Pearl River Resort in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Timeout Sports Lounge is a Vegas-style sports book that you can play, and you don't have to go all the way out to Vegas to do it. It's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. They also have Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. It's the Augusta you can play. You talk about just a great experience. Go out there, play a little bit of golf, then hit Philip M. Steakhouse, get you a nice steak. You go watch Tracy Lawrence. He's going to be there in November coming up here, LSU weekend. So a great place to stay. Go over and watch the game. Go back and catch, Paint Me a Birmingham live. But we appreciate those guys so much. Thank you for finding this show here on the next round. And we'll talk to you guys after the game next Saturday. And we'll have coverage on the next round all week of Alabama. And Jake and I will get back together with our show probably Monday or Tuesday. So roll Tide, everybody.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.